You know what? Let's see which one drifts better.
Oh, and we're both sideways into the two right-handers. If you're a true car enthusiast, you're going to be asked this question a couple of times by people who are not. Why spend so much money modifying your car when you could have just bit the bullet and buy a more expensive car? Well, today we're going to find out if modifying a car or buying it straight from the factory is better. Right here we have my BMW M3 Supercharged, which is highly modified. Wide body kit, wide wheels, suspension, and a supercharger under the bonnet, meaning this car makes 375 horsepower. Now, that puts it in the same league as the brand new BMW M2. And the question is, have I done a better job of improving this car? Or in 16 years, have BMW done a better job of improving this car? Well, I know how this drives. It's about time we check this one out and see if it's all it's cracked up to be. It's okay, this thing has a lot of pace. I just didn't expect that. This is a fast car for a standard road car. A lot of straight line speed, which is incredible for, again, this is the babier car to the M3. See how she takes the corners. Yeah, very direct, feels very flat. We're in the full sport mode, traction control off. So it's down to me now to keep a handle on it. Whoa, okay, so this thing is very tail happy. And easily controllable though, very, very balanced. And I mean, this car isn't super low to the ground. It's made to go into multi-story car parks and, you know, take your shopping home. But it feels very, very tight on the road. And that's the bit that I'm surprised by right now. Braking is incredible. Those brakes actually work incredibly well to slow the car down. When you think you've kind of overcooked it, you've got a little bit more. And as you can see, it's almost throwing me around in the seat here. To think this is a standard road car, I think the modified guys are going to have some work to do, because generally when you get a standard road car, you start lowering it, you start putting bigger brakes on. And I'm not sure in the M2 you really need to do anything with it. So far, we're going to give it a big punch down the straight here and see what it can do. This thing is a rocket ship. That power is very addictive. I'm not even sure this should be a road car, because I don't know how you would drive this civilized every day. But on the track, with the sport settings on, with the traction control off, this feels like a race car all day. And the good thing is, even if you're not a great driver like I am, you actually can go pretty quick around the track in it, which I think is a credit to BMW and what they've done with this. It's a small little car, but it packs a big punch. And as you throw it into corners, you can just feel the road perfectly as you go through the curbs. And when you want to put a little bit of power on, she kicks out a little bit, but enough that you can control it. This, of course, is a car that I didn't just get as a press car for the day. Anybody can drive this car in Mondello Park at the M Experience here. And for value for money to drive something that's totally, really is a race car, this is as much fun as you can have on a racetrack, absolutely guaranteed. This thing is insane. I love it. Whew. I mean, I'm a modified enthusiast at heart, but I think BMW might just have made the perfect car without having to touch anything. Let's see what the other one's all about. Tough task to live up to this. Okay, I've just stepped into the supercharged M3, and straight away, you get the feeling that this car is 16 years old. It's not as pretty a place inside, but it is a little bit more hardcore. Bucket seats, holding me in tight, racing steering wheel, but all that doesn't matter. It's about the experience. Does it match the M2 for outright pace? Well, we're about to find out. I am not a professional race driver or a journalist, so this is going to be an ordinary world test, and let's see how this thing goes. So it's obviously, yeah, definitely a lot louder, and has some go in it. Very quick. Similar to the M2, braking, uprated brakes on this car, of course. Yeah. Whoa, and it gets sideways very easy in the wet here at Mondello Park. Yeah, and it just wants to go sideways. I'm not sure if that's an issue with the camber on the car, not having a huge amount of grip to the ground, but it is a hell of a lot of fun. Very, very tight though. The coilovers on this car are making it extra, and it has a lot of oversteer coming out of the corners, as you can see. Very tight on the road, very, very, I'd imagine on a normal road this could get a little bit more uncomfortable, but on a track it just feels like it's where it's meant to be. Nice and tight and direct. A little bit more understeer, I think, because of the bigger wheels on this car, but definitely lots of pace as you come through these tight corners in Mondello Park. And from where I'm sitting, it's a hell of a lot of fun. Let's see what she does in a straight line. And right now, it's a little bit terrifying in the wet, but it certainly goes. Ooh, probably a little faster than I wanted to go there. It's a lot rawer of an experience than the M2. The M2 seems to be a little bit more of an everyday car you can live with. This, I think, you're into modified cars, of course, you got to make that sacrifice. You got to be able to say it's not the most practical car, but it is a hell of a lot of fun. I think, in comparison to the M2, it's probably right up there. I think it's, in terms of pace, it feels pretty similar. In terms of grip, I'm not quite sure. But the only problem we have is, I'm out here in this car on my own, which means I have no way of testing these two head to head, and that's really what this review is going to have to come down to. Hold on a minute. Who's this guy? Well, if it isn't Mr. I'm the best drifter in the world, James Deane, huh?
Yeah, so Dave, your car has absolutely nothing on this thing. It's so much fun. It's my first time driving an M2. Really positive car. It's a real driver's car, really, because manual gearbox. So much fun around Mondello Park. Just get on the gas, and there you have a nice slide. I really like this thing. I've driven the M4 before, and in my opinion, this is a lot more of a driver's car because you got the manual gearbox. Brakes are nice. It's just really meant to be. It's built to have fun, I think. I like this. Third gear on the rev limiter. Woohoo! I cannot believe this car is factory because it's so controllable. A lot of steering angle, the grip is consistent, brakes feel nice, and it loves a bit of abuse, so clutch kick, and she steps out loving life. Oh my god, I'm loving this.
Out to try and steal my thunder on this review. Well, now we really have a shootout going on.
Oh, look who's come back to play. Dave sees I'm having a bit too much fun, and I think he might be realising that the M2 is a much better car.
It is going to be the factory spec M2 versus my M3, and you know what? I'm not backing down from this one. It's not often people get to go out and battle James Deane. Well, I'm going to try and do one over on him here, but he's got a little bit more pace out of the corner in that M2.
Let's see how these things compare together, but I'm not sure if he can keep up.
This is where the M3 comes into its own, though. Lower centre of gravity through the S's, and can get nice and tight on the back bumper.
You know what? Let's see which one drifts better.
Oh, we're both sideways into the two right-handers, and he's fully sideways the whole way through the right-hander. This is like a twin battle, not a car review.
Come into the corners hard. Transition. You can just see his lights like fading back.
He's now showboating that he's in the lead. Well, two can play at that game, Mr. Deane. He is completely sideways through there. As they turn in, this is where the M3 looks good through here. Nice and tight, doesn't have the body roll. So when you get down the inside, you might just be able to pass James Deane.
Just on the straight, he seems to have a bit more.
Screw you, world champion. We are in the lead. Oh, we're in the lead, but we're going a little bit too fast. And now I've got James Deane behind me. And this is kind of what it feels like to be in Formula Drift, I guess, or Drift Masters, because it's pretty imposing.
Woohoo, he almost won. This car just loves drifting. Fishtailing, happy out.
Oh, a little bit of understeer there as well. Very hard to keep these cars straight. Okay, so there's going to be no winners here. We're going to write these cars off. I think it's about time we went back to the garage and wrap this one up, because I don't have the nerves for this. What's that all about? I'm trying to do a sensible review of these two cars, and you turn up unannounced, steal a car, and then sort of got me wound up, and I had to
quite the machine, I must say.
Well, look, you may be the man to take this thing sideways, and you proved that on the track, but we're having a serious debate here around whether you should have a modified car and put some money into that, or you should buy something from the factory. I think both of us were a little impressed with the M2.
I love modifying cars, and it's something I've always been involved in pretty much all my life. But driving this car as a production car straight onto a racetrack, you can have so much fun, and it's hard to believe that this is completely standard. So.
Yeah, not a thing done. No special tires. This is just how you would drive out the gate in this car. An incredible machine. Two very, very different cars to live with, but I think we both probably are in agreement that while this is as good as you can get for putting your few quid into improving a car that's already pretty good, this is kind of on another level.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. But you know, I think this thing had us on the straights, where this in the corners you could really feel a grip and a natural grip from the chassis. It's an impressive machine for sure.
Well, look, we obviously did a very sensible review. We didn't get it too sideways. I think we'll blame the conditions for that one, James. Just very, very slippery out there.
There's no tire marks on the doors. We played it quite safe.
That's a good day for you. It's a good day when both cars are in one piece for James Deane. Usually when James comes down here, he gets a little carried away, and then I have to kind of clean it up the next day and explain things. But today we got away just about, had to call it a little bit early. But what do you guys think? We're just having some fun out there, but would you rather take a modified car and build your own character into it, improve it as you go, or would you just take that big finance deal and try and spend €85,000 on getting something amazing out of the box? So you guys comment below, which would you rather, the production car or the modified car? Thank you, James Deane.
Thank you very much.
For making a mess of my first ever review at Mondello Park. We'll see you guys soon for more from Drift Games Garage.